welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while since the last time I uploaded something, and today's video is going to be the reason why I have not uploaded anything in months. So you guys stay tuned. It's going to be very informative. Hopefully it's going to help some people. So enjoy, like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys soon. Jump right into today's video, and it's basically about reasons why I haven't, you may hear my daughter grunting and playing in the background, but yeah, since the last time I saw you guys, or since the last time I uploaded a video, I had just had a baby, and I talked a little bit about that experience. So she was 3 months at the time that I posted the video, and she is now 8 months, about to be 9 months in a few days. So yeah, it's been quite a while since I last posted. And the reason why is a number of things. So I'm just gonna get right into topic and go ahead and tell you guys what's been going on. So before I had my baby, my sister died in 2018, okay? And then last year, 2020, my mom also passed. And then February 2021, I gave birth to my daughter. So I gave birth to my daughter by way of C-section. I have never had any surgeries, no reason to be cut open for anything, you know, or whatever. So I had to have her by way of C-section. The epidural did not work. I don't know what was going on with the anesthesiologist at the time, but epidural did not work, and I had to be sedated. So basically, like, they gave me medication that pretty much put me to sleep, and I was not awake for the whole procedure. So never experiencing that kind of thing before was very scary. You know, you plan your pregnancy, you plan your birth experience, you go in with expectations of what you want, you know, how you want to deliver, and none of that happened for me. So it was a pretty traumatic experience. When they were sedating me, I didn't know what was going to happen, if I was going to make it out alive, if my baby was going to make it out alive. So it was, you know, it took a toll on my nerves, which leads me into what has been currently going on with me. So because of those two losses that I had back to back, and my mom being the most recent one in 2020, and then the C-section, it caused a bit of trauma, you know, physically on the body, having that surgery. A C-section is no joke. It's not a minor surgery. They are cutting through layers to get to your baby, and you know, it takes a lot to heal and everything after that. So it caused some trauma for me, which kind of spinned into postpartum anxiety. So with that, I've had panic attacks, crazy thoughts. For example, initially when I first got out of the hospital, when I was still in stitches, still healing, and I would go through my panic moments, I would feel like my wound where they cut me was opening, and that I was bleeding out. Like, I kept, and this is during the winter time, so I would be in a panic, like something's wrong, get dressed, put on my clothes, put on my coat, and we'd be going to the emergency room, and I'll be like, I know, like, I'll be feeling so faint, so weak. I'm like, I know something's wrong. I think, you know, my wound is bleeding out. And then when I get to the hospital, take off all my layers, check the wound is fine, and realize that I'm sweating. It's actually sweating, because with panic attacks, sometimes you get heat flashes. So that's pretty much what I was experiencing. But because I was in such a state of panic, my mind was just like, no, something is going on with your body. So those are some of the experiences that I've had with the postpartum anxiety. Sleepless nights, waking up in the middle of the night, heart racing, crazy thoughts, like thinking that like I'm gonna die. They didn't stitch me back right, after the surgery, or something's gonna go wrong. I also had preeclampsia after I gave birth, which kind of lingered into high blood pressure for a couple months before my blood pressure went back to normal. So I was thinking, they didn't do something right, something's going on, like my health is gonna take a toll for the worse. What if I die? I just gave birth to this baby. What if I die and I don't get to wake up and see my family anymore? So those are the kind of things that I battled with postpartum anxiety. Not only that, I wasn't gonna talk about this. I've never talked about this like publicly or socially, or out in the open. Very select people know about this, but I want to be as vulnerable as I can to you, hoping that maybe my vulnerability might help somebody who's experiencing the same thing that I'm experiencing, or who has experienced it and didn't really know how to navigate it or anything like that. Ezra is not a typical baby. She is, she's very smart, but right off the bat, when I brought her home, we realized there were some issues. So she was diagnosed with partial hearing loss, which means that she can't hear at 100% capacity, or at least this is what the doctors are saying, that she can't hear at 100% capacity. I think otherwise. I'm not a medical doctor, but from being with her for the past 8 to 9 months, it's just my experience. But she wears hearing aids. She has hearing therapy that she does about twice a month. Also, she does physical therapy as well too. At around 4 months, her godmother was like, she tilts her head, a little bit. Maybe you should talk to her pediatrician about it. So I did at one of her checkups, and her pediatrician said pretty much that it was torticollis. I'll probably just write it in the description below. If some of you never heard of it, you can look it up. But pretty much what torticollis is a medical term for stiff neck. So I started her in physical therapy for that, to kind of get it straightened out. And pretty much what her physical therapy consists of is basically like tummy time, normal activities that baby would do, because tummy time is supposed to strengthen that head, neck area and make them, to be balanced. So since then, it has corrected itself, but she's still, going for the physical therapy, to be able to hit other milestones like rolling, crawling, walking, all of those good things. So navigating that and navigating postpartum anxiety at the same time became very challenging. So navigating postpartum anxiety, as well as some of the challenges that my daughter has had. has been a little challenging for me as a first-time mom, and that takes me into my next subject. By no means necessary is this video an attack on anybody. Is it meant for it to be a pity party? I don't want anybody's pity. I don't want anybody's sympathy. Like I said, I just want to be vulnerable about my experience, so that in turn others can be informed, and others may get help from the things that I'm saying. So I don't think I've ever mentioned this before, but I am Ghanaian and Nigerian. So with the African community, there tends to be an ignorance to postpartum anxiety, almost like it doesn't exist. And maybe in their world it doesn't, because back home in Africa, pretty much when someone is having a baby, the whole village is having a baby. Everyone is involved, from the family in the home to the the next door neighbors. There's always going to be somebody to be able to pitch in and help. You know, they do a whole bunch of, you know, remedies for the healing part of postpartum and everything like that. And, you know, back home it's just a lot of family support. You know, everybody has their hands in with you, with that baby. So I think over here, you know, they bring that same mentality over here. Living here in the U.S. Is very challenging on its own, and I think a lot of the things that we just go through here on normal day-to-day life kind of opens the door to having postpartum depression or postpartum anxiety when you truly don't have support. For me, I think my experience might have been different, probably would have been a better experience had I had more support. You know, I just, you know, lost my mom, and a couple years before that lost my sister, and I know if they were still here, would be very involved with my daughter, but unfortunately, you know, they are no more. So it's just been me, my baby, and her father, you know, trying to navigate this whole thing. So yeah, you know, with the African community, I think a lot of people here don't talk about, a lot of people here in the U.S. don't talk about it, or don't bring it up, or don't really talk about, you know, their experience with postpartum, for fear of maybe it won't be understood about, you know, what they're talking about, or what they're experiencing, or what they're going through. I felt that. I spoke to a family member who was out of state, who just really seemed like she wasn't grasping the concept of, you know, postpartum anxiety. You know, most Africans, like you, especially like older African people, you probably mention postpartum depression or postpartum anxiety to them, and they're like, what, like what is that? Like what do you mean postpartum anxiety, postpartum depression? Why are you depressed? Why should you be depressed? You just had a baby. It's the biggest blessing. You know, that's just how Africans think. You know, that's how they are. So it was actually a cousin who's also my daughter's godmother, who probably saved my life and told me, this is what you're going through. Like, I went through the same thing when I had my baby. This is what you're going through. Because like I said in, you know, my past video, the hospital didn't really educate me that, you know, this was postpartum anxiety, or this was anxiety period. It was just, oh, your hormones are adjusting and trying to get back to normal. So, and with anxiety, for me, I don't know about anybody else, I have gone through phases where for an entire month I won't experience any insomnia. I won't experience any racing heart, any panic attacks, or anything like that. And then boom, all of a sudden the next month it's like everything comes crashing down. So anxiety is not something that you can just heal overnight from. Like, you can go in and out of it, especially if things happen around you that can automatically trigger it. So, you know, it was like without that person letting me know that, oh, this is what it is, this is what you're going through, I probably would have just thought that I was crazy, or that something was seriously wrong with me. For anybody out there experiencing postpartum depression, postpartum anxiety, depression, you are not crazy. You are not alone. I mean, given the state of the world, like the times that we're in now, it's very easy for somebody to fall into depression. It's very easy for somebody to have anxiety. There's just so much going on, and then to add on to that, now you have a new baby that you have to take care of. So you know, things have been very challenging, you know, in that part. Like I said, we don't have a village. We don't, I'm the friend that's in the clutch, like, oh, you having a baby? Oh, that's our baby, you know. I'm planning your baby shower, I'm planning your gender reveal, I'm gonna help you babysit. You know, I don't have that type of, you know, people surrounding me. I don't have that type of family surrounding me. So, you know, things like that. Because when you're a mother, or when you have kids, when you have children, there's just a lot that you have to do. It's a 24/7 job. It's an around-the-clock job. It never stops. And if you just don't have that extra support, somebody to say, hey, you sleep in for a couple hours, or hey, I'm gonna take the baby out for a couple hours, or, you know, you can easily get burned out because you're not resting. I mean, sleep. What sleep? You're not resting. So it's, you know, it's easy to get burnt out, especially because the baby goes through so many changes, and you have to adjust through those changes that they go through. What Ezra was doing at 3 months is not what she's doing at 8 or 9 months now. So, you know, it changes. I know people have been telling me, oh, it gets easier, it gets better and stuff like that. I'm still waiting on it. You know, that's just, you know, that's just what it is. And like I said, it's not an attack on anybody. You know, it's not a pity party like, oh, woe is me, because I know that there are mothers who are in worse situations that are probably navigating it better than I am. But I'm just speaking from my experience. And because I come from an African community, you know, whereas when one person has a baby, we all have a baby. You know, I just saw this experience different in my head. I thought that, you know, I would have more people involved with me and involved with my daughter, but unfortunately that's not the way that it's been. So that is the reason why I have not been posting on my YouTube. I felt like I wanted to just like give up the channel, but this was something that I have been wanting to start for like the past 4 years, and last year I finally got it off the ground and stuff like that. And I was just like, you know what, just don't give up. Maybe just post what you can, or maybe change the things that you're gonna upload, which is probably what I'll do. Very soon I will post some videos about like my natural hair care routine. Right now I'm doing a challenge where I'm trying to challenge myself, because I am the protective style queen. I will throw in some braids, some crochet, like a protective style in a hot minute. And I go back to back from protective style. So I was like, you know what, at least for the remaining, if I can't do until next year, maybe around my birthday, which is in April, at least maybe at least maybe until the end of this year, or maybe early next year, I'm not going to do any protective styles as far as attaching hair. I'm just going to take care of my natural hair and let it grow, because Ezra did me some good with the pregnancy, so my hair has grown a bit since I've had her. So I wanted to maintain that and see if I could actually grow it to waist length. Right now it's like shoulder, bra strap length or whatever. So I wanted to see, if I could really challenge myself to let it grow out to waist length. So I'll be uploading, that'll be easier for me to upload, like, videos of that, what I use, how I wash my hair, how I keep it up and things like that. And also videos with Ezra too. I'm also challenging myself. She's gonna be 9 months soon, so we have 3 more months until she's 1. And Ezra suffered major hair loss as a baby, and her hair has finally grown back. So she got a little cute TWA, but I want to see how much more it can grow by her first birthday. So I'll upload some hair care routines that I do for her as a baby to help other moms with their babies that have suffered from hair loss, and things like that. So what I want to talk to you guys about now is the things that have helped me to get through my postpartum anxiety. I'm still in it. I still have it. But I think at this at this point that I'm at, or this level that I'm at, it's a little bit more manageable than it was 6 months ago, 7 months ago. So I want to talk to you guys about some of the things that helped me to get through. The first thing, praying. Gotta pray. Talk to your Jesus, talk to your God. Gots to pray. Yeah, I would say that praying was a little bit challenging, a little bit difficult for me at first. It still kind of is, because sometimes I'm like, why, God? Why am I going through this? Why does my baby have to be diagnosed with hearing loss? Or, you know, why does she have to go through physical therapy for this? Why did my mom have to die? Why did my sister have to die? Why do I have to have this, you know, go through this experience alone? Why me? Like, did you just forget about me? Like, yo, what's up? But, you know, God is a God of miracles. God answers prayers. Ezra was once a prayer, and that prayer was answered, amongst many other prayers that I have prayed before. So I would say the number one thing to do, is, you know, if you're a religious person, is to pray. The second thing, you know, with this anxiety thing, I have been in and out of the hospital because anxiety symptoms sometimes mimic like you may be having a heart attack or a stroke. So, you know, there have been times where I have gotten scared, and, you know, I've gone to the emergency room, or I've scheduled follow-up appointments with my doctors, you know, to do blood work, to do everything, make sure everything was okay. And they gave me some tips for breathing exercises. You can even find them on YouTube. So normally when I'm in a state of panic, the first thing is that my heart will race really, really, really fast. And one thing that can kind of stop that and calm that down is if you take deep breaths. So you breathe in, hold it for a few seconds, and release it slowly. This has worked for me maybe like a couple days ago, or maybe like sometime last week. Sometimes I wake up at odd times, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I just feel like something is wrong, and I'll just take those deep breaths, take it a couple times until I feel calm and sleepy again, and then I'm able to go back to sleep. So that, along with a little bit of meditation. At one point I was watching like meditation videos on YouTube that they also incorporate breathing exercises as well too. So you know, you can do that. That works when my anxiety is not through the roof, or my panic attack is not through the roof. Breathing exercises tend to work for me. Also, I tried the Goli ashwagandha gummies. I don't know if you guys can see that. Where did I get this from? Is it the vitamin store or GNC? You can get these online. I'm sure they sell them on Amazon. You can just Google them and see what stores they sell it at, or how you can get them online. But these gummies, mine are still pretty full, because it got to a certain point where I stopped taking it because I felt that the anxiety was getting better or more manageable. I didn't need it as much anymore. But I would say maybe by the second day of taking these, I did honestly notice a difference. Somebody also had recommended to me that maybe instead of taking the gummy supplement, because, you know, they gotta add some stuff to make it into a gummy, to just actually take the authentic like supplement. So I think that they have like a pill, you know, when you go to your store like Walgreens, Walmart, your vitamin section, I think they have like an actual ashwagandha pill that you can take. Also, my mother-in-law recommended these to me, and I just went on Amazon or to my local grocery stores to find these. So I think if you're in the middle of a panic attack, you can combine these 3 teas and it should work. But what I was doing it because my anxiety was consistent, like an everyday thing, I would just take them every day right before bed. So you would mix. This is Tulsa Original Stress Relieving and Energizing Tea. This is an India herbal tea. I would take this, or I would brew this with lemon balm tea and then lavender tea. Brew it, maybe let it sit, let the tea bag steep in hot water for maybe about 5 to 10 minutes, and then I would take it before bed. I would say it's best to take it about maybe 1 or 2 hours before bed so that it, you know, it can actually work for you. If I wasn't taking those, you know, teas, if there wasn't an urgent need to take those, then I would just take this, also the same brand. I think Tulsi is the brand, or maybe Organic India is the brand. I don't know which one, but they both have Organic India and Tulsi written on it. But this one is specifically ashwagandha. Sometimes I would just drink this alone, like on a regular day, and that also helped too. Also, what I did was sometimes, and you can see it's almost empty. I haven't had a need for it in a while, but I was using it like crazy. So this is the Dr. Bronner's 18-in-1 hemp peppermint pure castor soap. So I got this from my local Whole Foods. It's very minty. It's very, like, it gives you a tingling sensation all over your body, and like after I would bath with this, like I would feel relaxed enough to go to sleep, because getting to sleep was an actual challenge for me. My mind was always racing, and I just couldn't get my eyes to close. But this would relax me, and this would help. I think if you were to combine these and the tea, like take a bath with this, get out of the shower and drink your tea, you'll be knocked out. So those are the things that I took. I also took clonazepam, but that was medically prescribed. You know, if you feel like your anxiety is to the point that or depression, because that also comes with postpartum as well too. If you feel like it is to the point that you cannot function on a regular basis, you cannot do daily activities, it's that serious for you that you need medication, you should probably see your doctor about it. I had a point where, like back to back, I was having severe panic attacks, and I could not get my heart to stop racing. So a doctor that I had saw prescribed me just a few clonazepam pills, because I think he said something like it was one of those medicines that, you know, they don't really like to prescribe because it can become addictive and things like that. So he prescribed me a few, because he asked, you know, how many times a month would you say you're getting a panic attack? And I was like, I would say like maybe once, you know, or a panic attack that sends me to the emergency room. And I was like, probably like once a month, like I have a severe panic attack. So, you know, he prescribed according to that. You know, and I didn't even have to take them all. It really came in handy when I traveled, because I already have a fear of flying, and I knew that was going to intensify my anxiety. So I took it right before I got, maybe an hour or two, I got on the plane, and you know, going to where I was going to, and then coming back, did the same thing too. But it's not something that I take regularly. But, you know, if you need it, you know, talk to your doctor about it. Also, exercise. At one point, I still have a gym membership, but at one point I also had a personal trainer. And, you know, not all the time, but sometimes, because sometimes I would be having anxiety to the point where it's just like, I don't feel like going to the gym today. But, you know, you don't necessarily have to get a personal trainer. You can just have a membership, go do some cardio, run on the treadmill. Yeah, so this is Ezra, guys. As you can see, she's not the same baby she was 6 months ago. So yeah, so exercise somewhat helped me. Also, if you're somebody that has trouble with high blood pressure, exercise is going to be good for you anyway. The next thing I would say is self-care. And for you, that could mean anything. It had gotten to a point, clap mama, it had gotten to a point where, and I'm sure all you moms out there know, I would wake up and go through the whole day and hadn't taken a shower. It's very, very important for you to have self-care. If that self-care means going out with your friends, or going out alone and shopping, going out to have a drink, to have a meal, whatever self-care means to you. For me, I like to get my nails done, I like to get my feet done, I like to get my hair done, things like that. I also like to, you know, go out with friends to try to bring some of that, you know, those normal things that I used to do before having a baby, bring it, you know, back into my routine. Because, you know, when you have a baby, sometimes or most times you do end up, you know, losing yourself or you know, forgetting who you were and stuff like that. So self-care is very important. And then also right now, last but not least, I am in therapy. So I have a therapist that I talk to once a week about what I'm going through, about what I'm dealing with. I would say maybe I've been doing it for about a month now. I don't know how effective it's been, but I would say that it is good, it is nice to be able to talk to somebody, an absolute stranger who doesn't know you, who can't judge you, doesn't know your past mistakes, doesn't know who you dated previously, you know, somebody who can just be unbiased, because, you know, they don't know you, they don't know where you're coming from, and, you know, they're only going to talk to you about what you're talking to them about. So and it does help, because sometimes I tend to keep things in, don't really want to talk about it, and letting it out to someone, and in return them telling me, you know, how to navigate things, or, you know, how giving advice on how to deal with certain things has been a good outlet for me, has been a good stress reliever for me. So yeah, even if you're not dealing with postpartum, if you're just dealing with anxiety, if you're dealing with depression, if you're just dealing with something that you need to talk to somebody about, it's good to see a therapist. There are so many means of to having a therapist. You can get a therapist through insurance. You can get you know, a therapist through, I think somebody had sent me one time, it was like a link for like black female therapist. You know, you could do that. Even if you don't have insurance, some therapists have what they call like a sliding scale based on your income or based on what you can afford. You know, they can charge you a discounted amount for sessions and things like that. And who knows, maybe 2 or 3 sessions could work, you know, for you to get something out, and you'll be good. And in this time frame, this period that we're in, with everything that's going on, I think everybody needs therapy at this point. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. That is my video for today. Also, if you guys want to know more about Ezra's hearing, you can leave me a comment in the comments below, and I'll do a video just for that, talking about her hearing. And even if you want to know about the torticollis, the stiff neck thing, just leave me a comment and I can do a video talking about that, some of the therapies that we're doing, you know, what the doctors are saying, how we found out about it, and things like that. But yeah, I hope this video was very informative. I hope it helps somebody. Don't be ashamed if you're going through something. Don't be ashamed to seek for help. Don't be ashamed to, you know, to reach out for people. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I want you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and I hope you guys continue to tune in. Bear with me. I may upload today, and you may not see me again for another 3 months. But whenever you do see me, I hope you guys are more than happy to tune in. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. See you. Bye.